certain qualities. Sama, Dama, Titikshasva. Astikyam, you look it up. Bhagavad Gita, Krishna has given us.
Uh, 1842 to there. Samo damas tapa saucham.
Yes, that is also there. Read that.
So 1842. Samo damas tapa saucham kshantir arjavam evacha jnanam vijnanam astikyam brahma karma svabhavajam. Peacefulness, self-control, austerity, purity, tolerance, honesty, wisdom, knowledge and religiousness. These are the qualities by which Brahmanas work.
And Brahmanas are in the level of Sattva Guna. But you can also look up what was, how did this verse begin also?
Samo damas tapa.
Yeah. There's another one. See if you can find that. Anyhow, so these are some of the qualities. And we have it in us. We have these qualities in us. It's only that it's covered due to various reasons. And especially in our struggle for existence, for survival, we are willing to sacrifice some of this. But a person of character, like a Brahmana character, will never give up his principles. That's a very lofty, elevated state of our development of consciousness. But that is actually what we are in our original nature. Right now, we are under the influence of a second nature, not our true nature. It's an artificial imposition due to our karmic reactions. And due to our karmic reactions, we have received a particular body in a particular family with a particular culture and everything. But that is not our real nature. Our real nature is latent within us. And as we peel off, so to speak, the covering, then sama, dhamma, titikshas, saucham, arjavam, kshanti, all these different qualities began to manifest. In a saintly person, these qualities are there. And so this can be achieved in the association of others who are trying to practice this. Association is very important. Just like a musician, you're a musician. If you want to learn more nuances of music, you want to go into the depths of music, then you have to, associate with other musicians.
Someone has already been there.
Yeah. Similarly, if a person wants to devote his life to spirituality, he has to seek the association of others like-minded persons. And then we will develop these qualities. Okay, so let's continue. Somebody else has the English book? No response. Good. It's me then. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, it's too late. Either I've caught you sleeping or I don't know what. Anyhow, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, in propagating the Bhagavad Dharma or activities of the devotees, has recommended that people submissively hear the message of the personality of Godhead. The essence of this message is Bhagavad Gita. The lowest amongst human beings can be delivered by this submissive hearing process only. But unfortunately, they even deny giving an oral reception to these messages, and what to speak of surrendering to the will of the Supreme Lord. Naradhamas, or the lowest of mankind, willfully neglect the prime duty of the human being. So hearing is stressed upon here because spiritual life as well as acquiring knowledge begins with proper hearing. We've discussed that many times. There are different grades of hearing. So when a person has given proper oral reception with concentration, as I've understood what is being said from the scriptures, then this person will be able to give it, speak about it, repeat what he or she has heard. So this is the beginning of knowledge, because once you have heard properly and have tried to sincerely understand what is being said without a challenging mood, that's why here it is said, a submissive hearing process. One has to be submissive. That means one has to admit to oneself that actually I don't know. I don't know. And because I don't know, I must hear submissively if I want to learn the truth. The submissive hearing is the beginning of our freedom from the incarceration, the captivity of illusion and ignorance. And illusion and ignorance means suffering and fear and anxiety. So any questions? So please continue.
The next class of this kritika is called Maya Apritgyan, those persons whose erudite knowledge has been nullified by the influence of illusory material energy. They are mostly very learned fellows, great philosophers, poets, literati, scientists, etc. But the illusory energy disguises them, and therefore they disobey the Supreme Lord. There are a great number of Maya Apritgyanas at the present moment, even amongst the scholars of Gita. father of Brahma, the original father of all human beings. In fact, Sri Krishna is said to be not only the father of Brahma, but also the father of all his species and life. He is the root of the impersonal Brahman and Paramatma. The super soul in every entity is his plenary portion. He is the fountainhead of everything, and everyone is advised to surrender unto his lotus feet. Despite all these clear statements, the Maya Aparit Jnana deride the personality of Supreme Lord and consider him merely another human being. They do not know that the blessed form of human life is designed after the eternal and transcendental picture of the Supreme Lord. That's a paragraph.
So now there's a explanation and description of who is a Maya Aparita Gyan. Maya Aparita Gyan. One whose knowledge has been stolen by Maya. That is the meaning. Maya Aparita Gyan. So, there are great philosophers, great literati, poets, social workers, scientists. However, they are not willing to accept the instructions by which we can find what we have been searching for, life after life. Life after life, we've been searching for one thing alone, and that is happiness. That is our search. Everybody is searching. From the smallest living entity, everyone, to the most intelligent. They're all searching for this happiness. And not just in this life. We've done that also in our previous lives. All the previous lives, they have been the one-pointed search after an inexhaustible source of happiness. That's what we use. An inexhaustible source of happiness. Whatever happiness we have experienced, from the very beginning, the happiness gives us pain. From the very beginning, we think that, oh, this is... Because as soon as we say, oh, and I'm happy now, the clock starts ticking. And the happiness starts winding up. So, the search goes on. Now, our great saints, those who have experienced unmitigated bliss, they are giving us so many instructions how to come to their level, their position. They want everyone to come to there. Because actually human life is meant for that. Because that is our original nature. Satchidananda. That is our original nature. But due to some misfortune caused by our own ignorance, we have not been able to find that way by which we can experience unmitigated, inexhaustible bliss. So, those who have already found and are willing to share it with us, we are so foolish, or our intelligence has been stolen, and therefore our power of discrimination is also gone. Cannot discriminate. We think that No, what they are saying in their writings, in the scriptures, cannot be true. I have to find out my own way. I have to find out me. I'm quite capable, I'm quite intelligent, I'm a philosopher, I'm this and that. So why should I listen to anybody else's advice? So this is why most people miss the opportunity in this life, having come so close, because it is only in the human form of life is it possible to achieve this goal. In no other form is it possible. So we've come so close as human beings to be able to end our search over millions of lifetimes, end our search. And yet, because of this one facetious nature, they're not willing to accept. Any questions?
I mean, like, didn't you say, like, in all forms of life, everyone wants to be happy, whether, I mean, like, all forms. So, like, your last sentence was only when we reach human stage can we come close. Then what about the other species that live with us?
They have to continue to search. And their instinct, they're guided by the instinct for the animals. They don't have discriminatory power.
Okay.
This discriminatory power is only available to human beings. So, following the instinct, they also are looking for happiness. But they just don't know where true happiness lies. They're just guided by the instinct. So, if any animal was given a choice to choose between suffering and happiness, what do you think he would have chosen?
Happiness.
Yes. But he just doesn't know how to get to that point. He cannot discriminate, oh, this is what is going to give me happiness. And naturally, not only that, it's not possible for a human being, for an animal, to actually analyze the nature of happiness.
So that means a dog is only happy because as long as his master is treating him well.
Yeah.
Okay, so that its limited happiness is just lasts for those period of time.
Yes. But the dog will always look for that. He'll always look for that.
So Gurudev, we come at a point in our lives where we are happy. So how to hold that situation, not let it wind?
You can't, because the nature, the material nature is such that it is constantly in a state of flux. And it is, because of the time factor, everything is being destroyed. Anything which is material is bound to be destroyed. That means also happiness derived from material things will also be destroyed. If you have a source of happiness which is not material but spiritual or transcendental, then it is inexhaustible. But we have to find that inexhaustible source of happiness. Therefore, we have to relinquish our search in the material nature. We have to give it up. That is proper knowledge. I know the nature of matter. I know the nature of material world. I know how it functions. It cannot give me inexhaustible bliss. I've always experienced bliss, therefore it is there. I know it is there.
Guruji, as you said, we reach the stage of human life, then we can discriminate and decide and choose. But then, although we are still human and we still have the power to discriminate and choose and whatever is given to us, but we still refuse to let go. Why is that? I mean, I understand it's because of materialistic desires, but then what happens if we don't let go? Because I know many people who, I mean, even me, there's certain things that I don't want to let go in life.
Well, you don't have to really let go those things which are essential to your survival. You don't have to let them go. But you will have to be able to discriminate between what are the essentials and what are non-essentials. And you have to let go the non-essentials because they clutter up your mind and life. And if you stick to the essentials, then naturally you will be on the right way, on the right path. So you have to be able to distinguish between essentials and non-essentials. And this distinction and this discrimination, you can only come to the right conclusion when you know who you are. Now if you consider yourself to be body and mind, that's animalistic thinking. So they will, an animal always thinks about the pleasure of the body. Doesn't have beyond that. Whereas a human being, that's why a human being has the possibility to recognize the spiritual spark within, which is our true nature. So, essentials and non-essentials will be decided on that factor. What is essential for the spiritual soul and what things are non-essential. Then you have the right strategy and of life.
Is giving away materialistic wants the only way to get in touch with your spiritual self?
Not really. It can happen parallel because we are living in the material world. You can't reject it. Can't reject it. Therefore, the essentials also are decided. The deciding factor is what are essential for my body and what are non-essentials. Now, I pamper my body with a lot of non-essentials which are not necessary. Yes. So, Binapani, are you there?
Yes, Gurudev.
Read.
Does the Paramapara start with all the unauthorized interpretations?
Sorry?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, okay. All the unauthorized interpretations of the Gita by the class of Maya Parat Jnana outside the purview of the Parampara system are so many sapling blocks on the path of spiritual understanding. The deluded interpreters do not surrender unto the lotus feet of Sri Krishna, nor do they teach others to follow this principle. So is Prabhupada.
Yes. So all unauthorized interpretations of the Gita. You see, one has to be authorized to write anything about spiritual subject matter. Because spiritual subject matter is not of this world. It's not of this world. This where we find ourselves right now is a temporary creation. which will dissolve after some time. Naturally, it doesn't take a lot, it doesn't going to happen tomorrow or day after. It will, this is a long thing. But ultimately, everything will be dissolved. But the spiritual world, these are all the scriptures, are revelations about the truth of the spiritual world. The spiritual world and everything that there is actually in consonance with our true nature and identity. They vibrate on the same, level. So here, the soul, our spiritual identity and soul, rejects everything which is material, and it doesn't even touch. We are suffering in the body and mind. The soul is not suffering. The fear that we experience is only by the mind, not by the soul. So because the soul doesn't even belong here. So all these informations, the transcendental informations, for example, the Gita and other such spiritual literature, they are revelations of the spiritual world. As well as, of course, about this material world, so that we understand how to navigate our life on earth. So we have to know exactly what or how this material world functions. So to continue the fourth one, Vinapani.
The last class of Duskriti is called Ashura Babam Ashrita, or those of demonic principles. This class is openly atheistic. Some of them argue that the Supreme Lord can never descend upon this material world, but they are unable to give any tangible reason as to why not. There are others who make him subordinate to the impersonal feature, although the opposite is declared in the Gita. Envious of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the atheist will present a number of illicit incarnations manufactured in the factory of his brain. Such persons, whose very principle of life is to decry the personality of Godhead, cannot surrender unto the lotus feet of Sri Krishna.
Are there any questions?
Yes, sir. Guruji, I was wondering, I said something that our true nature is latent.
Sorry? Yes.
Our true nature
Yes.
is latent. So, and that there's a covering. So, how do we find that true nature, and how do we become free of the karmic reactions of our past?
Well, this is the process of spiritual life actually. Hearing from the proper source about what is our true nature. Otherwise, we will never know it. We will never be able to know what is our true nature unless it is told to us by authorities and those who have realized their true nature. We, in our state of ignorance, how are we going to know our true nature? So, by reading and from the right source and from the right person, we begin to meditate on that. So this is what I am in essence, in actuality. And therefore, this other nature which I have now is my second nature. It's not my true nature. Therefore, I should not follow the dictates of that nature. Rather, I should try and connect with my true nature. That happens when one begins to chant the mantras. Because mantra means that which releases the mind from its fettering. Manatrayati iti mantra, right? So one becomes the mind, when the mind is free from the fetters of material influence, it is more in a position to see within, to introspect and find that is that my true nature, and you will get that response, yes, I have to be. Otherwise, why am I not satisfied here? In order to feel satisfied, I have to take to different ways and means and trying. Ultimately, I land up becoming completely addicted to drugs and things like that, so that I can somehow or the other deal with this artificial nature which doesn't belong to me. So that's the beginning. Hearing from the right source, associating with like-minded people whose goal of life is also that, and chanting the mantra. That's the beginning. And this will clear all the karmas. And when the karma is cleared up and the consciousness is purified, then our true nature begins to shine forth. It is there, it's waiting. It's like the sun behind the cloud is shining. The cloud is not able to completely snuff out the light. It is my vision which is being covered. The sun's light is not being covered. The sun's light is covered to my vision, yes. But to everyone else, it's not covered. Those who are. Similarly, this veil of ignorance is covering my